Grace and peace to you. My name is Charlene Jin Lee. I am a practical theologian. I teach spiritual leadership and pastoral identity formation at the Graduate School of Theology at the University of Redlands. My teaching vocation is born out of my own profession of faith that believes that God calls all of us who follow Jesus Christ to live generously and graciously towards others the way God lives towards us. It's been my joy to think and reflect on the theology and the practice of hope as we seek to follow Christ in our daily lives. Have you ever encountered hope through the caring, loving actions that somebody has extended to you? We see this account of a young man who was hopeless in the physical paralyzed condition of his body. We find his story in the Gospel according to Mark chapter 12. And a community of people offer their hope and their love and their faith by doing some radical things to be able to bring this young man to the feet of Jesus Christ. And it is on the basis of the people's faith and their hope in Christ that Jesus Christ offers healing and a new life for this young man. So in this third aspect of practicing hope in our lives, I invite us to consider what it's like to offer and receive hope in this communal sense of hope in Jesus Christ. There is a wisdom from African traditions that have long guided communities. My hope is your hope. My pain is your pain. My wealth is your wealth. Your salvation is my salvation. God calls us to a beloved community of hope where there is this radical economy of grace that is offered and shared, received and given. And I've been reflecting on this idea of shared hope, even borrowing hope from one another, as I think about how we experience and practice hope in our lives. And my pastor friend and his experience captures this idea or this theological imagination of borrowing hope in this community. Some years ago, he was visiting a church member's son who was dying in hospice care. He was dying of AIDS, this young man. His body was frail and weak. And he looked up to the pastor who was now visiting him, and he confessed, I have no hope. I have lost hope, and I don't think I believe in God anymore. I have lost faith, and even as I face death, I have no faith. My friend, the pastor, moved by compassion, reached out his arms and said to the young man, that is okay, son. Lean on my faith. I've been walking closely with God, and I have sure hope in God who is watching over you. So take my hope and lean on my faith in God who sees you and calls you child. May we know the blessing of this kind of borrowed hope, that when we have no hope of our own, that we can look to a community, that those of us who have been able to persist and profess a hope in God of all hopes, that we can be ones to whom others can lean upon. And that sometimes we will be that pastor who can confidently confess, lean on my hope. And sometimes we will be that young man who has no hope or faith left of our own, and we can lean on the hope of another. May we share hope by offering and receiving the hope in Jesus Christ with one another.